All right, what's up, fellas? It's Mark Parson, cornerback pro, former NFL cornerback of the Houston Texans and New Orleans Saints, and now I'm here to coach you guys up. All right, so look, my whole channel, the whole purpose is to help young guys who don't know what they're doing figure out what figure out what you're supposed to do. Okay, that's why I started it. So that's the whole point of this: is never to speak negatively on anyone. Everything we do is for the improvement of ourselves and others, and to get better. All right. So understand that this is NFL Atlanta Falcons 101s in practice. So they're iron sharpens iron. So they're getting better in their technique and their skills. All right. So we're gonna, if you watch all my videos, um, I have probably more high school stuff on there when it comes to like Nike football camps and rivals camps, and I discuss certain things. And I want to show you how professionals practice, okay? And then we're gonna go over certain techniques when it comes to press man. So I just want to share that with you, okay? Um, email me at cornerbackpro@gmail.com. Ask me for the one-on-one mastery program because it has all the techniques in there that we're gonna discuss and how to practice it, and then all the other trainings I'm going to include in that, okay? So we're going to get right into it. I'm going to mute this really quick. All right, so we're playing press man. And it's hard for me to really tell where they are on the field. So alignment, you could be inside, head up, outside. I'm not going to really discuss that. But let's talk about technique right here. Let's watch it. All right, so notice how, look. We talk about all the time, right? Notice how the receiver finishes, guys. Look at this. Turn up field and sprint. Off top, off rip, high school guys, college guys. Notice how these guys finish. Why? Because their life depends on it. All right? So that's number one. Now, DB wise. Notice how he's shuffling. So you notice that he's not automatically crossing over. If he crosses over right here, so he runs a slant. That's what it looks like, okay? If he crosses over here, he would have to immediately take a head whip to get back. So NFL cornerback, notice that we don't cross over early. Now here's where I differ from a lot of the coaches that I see or trainers that teach how to press man. And I'm gonna show you why. This is the perfect example why. Watch this. All right, so notice how he doesn't necessarily open the gates. Okay, so what does open the gate mean? Open the gate means where you literally just give him a free go. Like you literally just open up the whole gate and just let him, you say, oh, just outside release. He doesn't do that, but he does give him, the receiver, a weak shoulder. So if he did want an outside release, a good receiver would violently rip. He'll give him a shake, boom, 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 and then he'll violently rip and have a better shot of getting to the top of his stem or stacking. What is a stack? Is when the receiver gets basically right here and you're trailing him directly behind, okay? So he does shuffle, and that's key, meaning he gets at least 1 to 2 shuffles in, so he doesn't cross over run, but he doesn't totally open up the gate, but he does give him a weak shoulder. So with this, when we open up like this, because let's look at the receiver. The receiver doesn't give us that much on this release, okay? On this slant, he doesn't really give us that much. So really, technically, and I know the cornerback knows this, obviously, afterwards, but if we were to fight to stay square right here, think about it. Think about what I teach. If we were to fight to stay square, because he does everything else perfectly, possibly he could shoot a hand, but let's say he just mirroring, maybe, he's just mirroring him. He's not really being aggressive. Instead of doing this, if he were to stay square longer, he could boom, because remember the whole point of shuffling is to recover. Boom, and then come back. But instead, he has to fully turn, you know what I mean? He has to basically, let's watch right here. You see that? So it's like a swipe, and he didn't hop, but it just makes it harder. When we stay square, we can recover faster, and then we can strike. So he does a good job on everything else but staying square. I noticed that other trainers teach to open up and give that weak shoulder. Don't do that because you're bad. You'll be bad on an inside release or outside release. So outside release, he's going to take that weak shoulder and be easy to get to the top of his stem and stack you. And then on the inside release, it's harder to turn back around and run. All right? But watch how they finish. Watch how these pro guys finish. All right? So we talk about this. Off man, right? And off man, you'll never make a play. And I can't tell if he's in a slot or not, because if he's too close to the receiver, to the line, it's tough. It is tough to read the three-step. But let's say he's not. You'll never make a play on a three-step drop. I'll give you that heads up, okay? And when we backpedaling, you want your feet to be a little bit more narrow. Now, if you're squatting on something or if you're playing subtle feet, that's another thing, okay? So you can have a more square of a stance, but be mindful of that. It's harder to get out of that break right here. I think he's playing a slot from the safety spot. If he is, he definitely going to be outside shade, right? It's hard to tell. So we'll just go to the next rep. All right. So you see this? Notice how we do what? Notice how the pro guys, look at that. See that getting that shuffle in? So he's not opening the gate. He's getting that. He shuffle. He got two shuffles. Bam. This is perfect. And let's watch the finish. Come on, squeeze. Good job. All right, so where does he mess up right here? Everything was actually really good. And the receiver did a good job by ducking the shoulder, dipping the shoulder right here. The only thing where we messed up right here is when we get out of this break, watch how he looks back at the quarterback too early instead of squeezing to the receiver to strike through. That's the only thing. See that? Let's watch it one more time. Shuffle. Stay square. Rally to it. Watch how they finish. You see this? You see how we finish it? I'm telling you, you high school guys and college guys, well, college usually knows, but high school guys, look, I'm see, you notice I don't just be talking on the on the thing. I know what I'm talking about. Be careful on the hop right here. So a shuffle is different than a hop. So watch his feet in our press, because that's when you will get got on a hop. Watch this. You see what I'm saying? It's like you like you're leaving the ground. So in our shuffle, and there's a couple drills we can practice. I actually had a video where I'm inside of a building in a gym, and I show different things you can practice on getting that shuffle, so you get out of the habit of hopping. Because when you hop, that's when you can get out of position. Okay. Kick step, outside kick step, squeeze. So we gotta fight the squeeze right here, and then when you get to him, play through his hands. So strike through, grab a hand, grab a finger, grab something. Let's watch it right here. So he did an outside kick step. Let's see how many shuffles he got in. I want you to see the pros. Shuffle. Look like he got one. I think he got two. Now we just got to squeeze right here. We got to find the ball eventually. All right, notice the little tug. That's, hey, look. Notice how he does it. This little vet move. Tug, let go. Perfect. See, he's not holding. He's not just drastically holding and looking crazy. It's a nice little tug and then let go. All right. See right there, we just immediately opened the gate and ran on that one. So we just gave him a free release. Good job by the receiver. All right. So let's watch this again. Finish. Look at this. Look at these guys finish. Look at these guys finish, guys. You got to finish, man. So when the college coaches, the recruiters and the scout or the NFL scouts, depending on what level you are on, when they see you finishing like that, I don't care. Hey, look, you got beat. Who cares? Finish and go for the rip. Let's watch this again. All right, so it look like inside kick step. Watch the receiver dip his shoulder. I will say that it is a lot harder for us. That's what I always say, like a big tall receiver that can play low, he can drop his hips. It's harder to guard you. Or a little guy who can dip his shoulder like this is harder. Watch this, because we basically push you in the back. Now it depends. You see how we undercut that right there? Only time you really want to undercut something is if you playing like some type of man underneath where you know you got help over top, okay? If not, let's watch it right here. Good job by that receiver. If not, I would still go for the upfield shoulder right here, because I don't think you're not gonna make this play undercutting it, especially in one-on-ones. Because remember, the NFL quarterback, they're gonna throw it on the money. Just got a head whip right there. Let's watch this again. Good job by the receiver getting his arm off. Look how they finishing though. So we got to immediately get our eyes back on. Oh, good squeeze. Look at this squeeze. Excellent. Let's watch that again. And that's going to be the last one. First, let's go back to this one. All right, so look how wide he made. Hey, great job by the cornerback. You see this? This disrupts the timing. This messes up the route. When you make the receiver bow his route all the way out here, all wide, and you're able to squeeze. That's why we practice these techniques. That's why we talk about getting 1 or 2 shuffles in. 1 or 2 shuffles in, strike, squeeze. All right, now here's where we mess up right here. Let's watch. All right, good job by the receiver. The receiver, because he had his hand. Now, I'll give you an example. When you put your arm on the shoulder, and I talked about this, it's easier for the receiver to knock you off because they practice that. They practice getting your hands off. So if anything, you may want to put your hand on his hips because then it's hard for him to knock it down and get you off balance. And then, let's watch it again. And then you can feel his hips drop because that's the really good receivers. You see how their hips have to drop to get out of their break? And then it's knocked us off balance. Now, if that does happen, you're going to feel awkward. So what you got to do is you got to immediately not look at you got to immediately snap your eyes back to the receiver. What he kind of did is he looked at the quarterback first. But this is good coverage, good job by the receiver. And look how they finish. Always go for the rip, though. Look at this squeeze, fellas. This is how you squeeze. So some people ask me, hey, so coach, what does squeezing mean? That's how you do it. Excellent job. So I want you to see, man, this is pro guys. Look how low they are in their pedal. Look how they're shuffling, they're staying square. They're striking, they're squeezing immediately, and they're finishing. Okay? You gotta finish. He catches the ball, receiver, sprint. Notice that they're not just catching the ball and then throwing the ball back to the guy like, oh, I beat you. Nah, man, I gotta score a touchdown. See, these are habits. When you build these habits, you're gonna start to notice that you feel better. You're gonna do better in the games because you're likening what you do on the practice field to the game. Everything got to be preparing you for the game. All right. And then lastly, this is the first rep right here. I know some coaches teach this. All right. Some coaches say, look, all right, you're gonna open right here and then your inside hand. Look, man, fight to stay square as long as possible. All right, fight to stay square as long as possible. Everybody in the NFL, as you saw right here, did a really good job with shuffling. And a lot of them did, do a great job of staying square. But right here, we did open up. We gave him a weak shoulder. We didn't cross over, so he does a great job right there. And then he finished perfectly. But this right here, this rep could have been a breakup just solely off of just fighting to stay square, just a tad bit longer. Not giving him a weak shoulder to play with, because when you do this, remember this, when you do this, it's easier for him to do it inside release or outside release, because if he does outside release, he can just fight, knock your hand off, and then stack a lot better. He's going to get to the top of his stem, and then right here, you're in a bad position when he wants to do an inside release. You got to like flip all the way. You got to flip your hips all the way over to make that happen. Or you'll have to head whip. If he really gets you right here, he can, you'll have to head whip, fully turn around and snap your eyes back to the receiver. So this is Atlanta Falcons 101s. This is my Cornerback Pro constructive criticism critique to help all the guys out there who want to be elite, want to get to this level one day, or at least ball out in the Nike opening camps or the rivals camps, the Under Armour camps. I want to give you extreme value every time I post a video. All right. So it's Mark Parsons signing off. Make sure you guys email me at cornerbackpro@gmail.com. Find out these techniques and find out how to practice them by asking me for the 101 Mastery Program. I'm going to include the catching series, punting, kick return series, and the mind and body training program. And then it's all up to you to watch every single video on this channel and to apply the information. You need 10,000 reps going against elite receivers, baby. You need 10,000 reps doing the right thing, practicing the right technique, and you will become elite. I don't care how big you are, how tall you are, how small you are, how fast you are. I don't care. Practice these techniques, and you will get better. All right, guys, stay tuned for the next video. Peace.